It's about time, Bill. It is about time. Hey, y'all. Hey. It is Tuesday, April 21st, and it's time for the next episode of The Deep Dive with Toya Creates, and that's me. So, if you love soap content just like me, like, follow, comment, and subscribe. So let's just get right into it. Today, we are going over Beyond the Gates. So, we saw Martin and Vernon discussing legacy and this campaign. So, Martin basically wants to follow in the footsteps of Vernon, and he is running for the Senate. And Vernon may be a congressman, but just basically he wants to follow his, political ambitions. Now, last year, Martin wanted to run for president, and that was not received well by the family because many years ago, Vernon and Martin were approached by two racists, and in self-defense, Martin unalived one of them. And the other one he beat very badly with a tire iron. And Vernon stepped in to make sure this would go away. He worked with Bill, Joey, Ted, and as a result of that, Randy is aware and Marcel is aware. So basically, Bill, I believe, paid this man to go away, but he came back and he was harassing Martin last year and just threatening him and the kids. So Vernon asked Bill to fix this yet again. And Bill went to Joey, and Joey had Marcel do what he does. And the racist was taken care of. Oh, also before that, I forgot, Ted, Martin's daddy, gave the man reconstructive surgery. And he also, in addition to receiving the payment for him to go away, but then he came back to the DMV and all bets were off, and Bill had that man unalived. And Vernon was mad about it. He was just like, oh, I didn't want you to kill him. Who cares? Anyways, you asked somebody to fix it, then you got mad with how they fixed it. Anywho, so Martin and Vernon are discussing the upcoming campaign and how things are going, and Martin's been very busy with it and yada yada yada. And Martin had been doing some counseling with Nicole to basically address the PTSD from the attack, the results of the attack, and him holding on to this secret. And so with Anita becoming ill, the family's focus has all shifted to that, and so Martin hasn't been having his sessions and etc. So he is struggling, and as a result of the PTSD, he was having nightmares and things like that, but that seemed to have subsided once he started doing the sessions. But since he's not having them anymore, Vernon is afraid that those things are happening again, and Vernon was just a listening ear for Martin, for everything he's going through right now. And Vernon reassures him that, number one, you are not a bad person. And what you did was completely in self-defense. Those men came up to us when our tire was disabled. They meant us harm. Had you not have acted so quickly, he was like, I wouldn't even be here today. And I couldn't even help your grandmother through this cancer. So he was like, in my eyes, you're a good guy, and you're the best grandson. And that was good. Martin needed to hear that. And Vernon also told him to lean on Smitty. That's your husband. You should be able to talk to him and confide in him for the most part. And Martin says he will when Smitty is done with this case, because, this case is all consuming right now. So yeah, that was basically it for Martin and Vernon. I always love to see I always love to see the family moments because it's so great. It's so nice to see people like communicating, working things out, being supportive. Anyways, so then we also saw Bill and Caroline in the office. She's just going over like schedules and things of that nature. And she asks, "Oh, do you want me to put Tomas on an XYZ case?" And Bill says no, because Tomas is on a special case. And that special case is getting the dirt on Lynette. So then we see Hayley. God, Hayley at Atrium, the new coffee shop, and she's fixing Bill his coffee with her little, let me put some poison in it. Girl, why are you doing this out in public? I mean, imagine you're at Starbucks. Your order's up. Drop, 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 right in front of everybody. I'm like, oh, what was she going to say? It's a tincture? It's that? I don't know. It's vitamins? I don't know. But she's doing this out in the open, and Tomas happens to walk up, but daggone it, he did not see her poisoning the coffee. So she turns around and she's like, basically, what do you want? Because they're still beefing over this Lynette sexual assault BS that Hayley made up. Anyways, Tomas kind of blocks her way and he's like, no, I wanted to talk to you. Tomas is on this like apology tour, and he wants to take all of the staff out and take them out for like a meal and get them a gift and just talk to them. And he just wants them to respect him, not by force, but by choice. And he wants to have a better relationship with everyone. And he wants to show that he appreciates the staff. So Hayley and Tomas are talking about that, and he's just like, you kind of encouraged me to do this because you said, my attitude had changed and this and that. We really know Tomas is digging and fishing. So Hayley is playing the game as well. I mean, give this girl an Oscar. Oh, Tomas, I guess you were right about Lynette, and I need to apologize to you as well. I just want to start. Oh, I'm sick of it. But yes, she apologizes for the sexual assault claim, and I'm sorry, that raggedy ass apology would not have been enough from me. You better than me, Tomas. But I mean, you're trying to set her up anyway, so I guess you got to play the game. But girl, we would never ever be friends again. Think Candy and Phaedra. Hell no. Next, so they are basically done with that, and Hayley's in a rush to get this this breakfast, this treat to Bill. And Tomas even offers like, oh, since I've held you up, let me buy you new coffee. I'm sure that's cold. She's like, no, and she just runs off. Great, whatever. Hate to see her on the screen, but she's a good little actress, so her character's just trash. Anyway, so then we see Vanessa and Danny catching up at Uptown. They are talking about the relationships again. And Vanessa's just like, oh, you Duprees are just alike, and bashing Joey. Now she is made up with Nicole, and now she's talking to Danny and telling her how they made up, and Danny made her little slick comments about Joey, and that's when Vanessa got a little hurt. And Danny's like, look, if you want us to accept this man, you're gonna have to let us haze him a little bit. That's how we show affection, clearly. And she was like, you need to lighten up. So Vanessa, continues to talk about how they just don't know Joey. Like, she knows him, and she wants Nicole and Joey to have a great, what do you call it? Acquaintanceship, a friendship. It'll never be a friendship, but she wants them to get along, and she wants that for all of the members of the Duprees. Okay, so Danny's like, I hear you and all of that, and she's gonna respect it. Then they start talking about Babygate, because Vanessa and Danny started talking about Bill for some reason, I forget. And Vanessa was throwing her little shots, and Danny was like, "Oh, so you can trash talk my baby daddy, but no one can say anything about Joey." But she was like, "Well, Bill was just yada, yada, yada." And then she was like, "Well, actually, Bill has been so nice, blah, blah, blah. And he called me baby." And Vanessa was just like, give me more. But she was like, what? She wanted to know, like, oh, well, did you ever think about reconciling, or like, just having a little revisiting the old situation? Let's say it that way. And Danny, surprisingly, was like, no. I mean, I think she means it, but from what I see, but she was like, no, she is just thankful for everything that she has. She has a man who loves her. She's gonna be a model again. She's like, getting her life back after Bill, and she's happy, and she feels completely fulfilled with Andre. Oh, okay. Vanessa, I mean, she accepts it. I don't know how true it is, like I said, but she accepts it. So then, speaking of Nicole, she shows up at the casino to meet with Mr. Joey. That was pretty tense. He is like, he's polite. But Joey, with his little snark, he's just like, so basically, why are you here? And Nicole is there to clear the air about Vanessa. Okay. So, he gets the drinks per usual. That man goes through so many bottles of scotch, but okay, or a bourbon, I don't know what it is. He pours up some drinks, and they sit down, and they have a one-on-one. Now, they talk about the double date from hell. They both agree that they probably could have handled things better. Nicole was like, in retrospect, I'm sure having a plastic surgeon there, considering how your mother died, was triggering. And Joey said, yeah, it was, but basically I was a jerk, and I shouldn't judge every physician by one bad apple. So I loved that they were taking accountability. Joey expressed to Nicole that something that grinds his gears is, them treating him like a stereotype. I guess a stereotypical mobster or gangster or whatever. And he's like, there's more to me, and I don't appreciate that. That's fair, even though it's kind of true. And Nicole was like, okay, I can understand that. She'll be less judgmental, won't be stereotypical. But also, here come Nicole, the fixer. Okay, she was like, I don't want to hear any more innuendos about my son, Martin, because we know Joey did this little favor with this Klansman, so he's holding this over Martin's head, and he's going to collect at some point. And Nicole, she said that as well. Like, I know you have this dealing with my son, but basically don't come for my son. That's it, and that's all, because if you do, we are going to have a problem. And she meant that. So then we flash back to Martin really quickly. I forgot to mention that he is also very worried about the truth coming out and basically killing his political career. That is important to mention. So, and he also brought up the fact how, lots of people don't think it's a good idea. Bill didn't think it was a good idea. And, Vernon's just like, I think Vernon had he's cautious too because of this secret. So, we'll see how that develops. And so, we see Tomas at Uptown now. He is taking Caroline out. for the appreciation lunch, and they get to talking because, word on the street was they were like, oh, they were trying to figure out in the office why Tomas was really doing this. So then he gets there, he presents her with a present, he's like, get what you want, and she said, oh, so you really are just doing this to be nice? And he's like, yeah, blah, 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 I want people to respect me, blah, blah, blah. So then they get the talking about this Lynette situation, and Caroline was like, well, yeah, when I came into the office earlier, I heard Hayley and Bill talking about Lynette and how she's gone now. And Tomas was like, interesting. So Caroline goes to the bathroom, and at that point, Tomas is on the phone with someone, and he's telling them to meet him at Atrium to have a discussion. So we later see that Tomas is meeting with a private investigator. The same private investigator that Bill hired to check out Andre, but I digress. So more on that later. So Hayley gets back to the office and she has the coffee, and Bill thankfully has not drank it yet. But they start talking about the Lynette situation. This is what Caroline overheard earlier. And Bill is finally catching on. The way he was interrogating her, he was just like, this doesn't make sense. Number one, you're telling me she just left town, no goodbye, no thank you, no kiss my foot, no nothing. Number two, this penthouse, she didn't know that we weren't gonna buy it. So what encouraged her to just leave all of a sudden? And Hayley's like, I don't know, maybe she just maybe she just read in between the lines, like, I don't know, and then she showed her little text messages to him just to prove that, I don't know what she's thinking. I guess she just didn't need me anymore, and tried that BS. And Bill was not budging. I mean, he wasn't mean, he wasn't aggressive, but he was just like, I cannot figure this out. He clearly went into attorney mode. So what does this heifer do? Oh, it was like, oh, you want to question me? What about I've been married to you for over a year and you called Danny baby how many weeks ago? And he was like, he tries to joke it off, and she's so mad. Girl, you're not mad. Because if Hayley were really mad, she would have said something right then and there when he called Danny baby. She was like, you embarrassed me and this and that. And he was like, it wasn't, it meant nothing. It was just a slip of the tongue, blah, blah, blah. And Hayley is just so outraged all of a sudden, to the point that she has to storm out. Okay, so Bill's like, I am in the doghouse again. But he is still not letting up. Because after lunch, Caroline goes back to the office, and Bill is like, I'm leaving for the day. I got to do damage control with Hayley. And Caroline's like, oh, is it a diamond situation or something else? Because she usually buys the makeup presents, I guess. And he's like, no, I'm just going to go talk to her. But also, Caroline, I need you to schedule time with my accountant so we can comb through my financials. I just want to make sure everything's in order. Bill is hot on Hayley's trail. Meanwhile, while Hayley is at a bar or something, calling Randy just to make sure he's gotten rid of all of Lynette's personal effects. Number one, why are you talking over the phone about this? Number two, get a burner. Number three, meet in person. Number four, which should be number one, I would have never trusted Randy to off anybody. He claims he did, just like whatever. We know Randy cannot be trusted to unalive someone efficiently and effectively. So then we're back at the casino, and Joey and Nicole work it out, basically. Nicole is just like, again, I'm just worried about Vanessa getting caught up in anything because of your other dealings, and if you are playing with her, if you are doing anything, you're going to have to answer to me, and I'm not afraid of you. Ooh, again, the fixer is at it. Meanwhile, Joey's like, well, this whole situation with Vanessa caught him off guard. And if anyone is going to get hurt in the situation, it's him. Because he told Nicole, and she believed him, like, Vanessa is the first person who I have felt comfortable enough with to even let down my guard at all. And he told Nicole straight up he loved Vanessa. And Nicole was happy with that. And so they agree to not be enemies. They shake on it and they go their separate ways. Now, Vanessa, of course, goes to the casino after she's done with Danny. And she's happy to hear that Nicole and Joey were able to basically come to terms with everything, and they're going to be cordial. And she was like questioning what their title is. You know, is he going to be Steady Fella? And he was like, what are we, Veronica and Archie? For the young people, that is Archie and the Gang comic. And so then he says, you know, I'm too young to be your boyfriend, and man friend sounds weird. So you are my partner. And Vanessa was ready to do a cartwheel. I mean, she's wanted to be his equal this entire time. Now, I don't know if Joey means you're going to be my partner in love and in business. I don't know if she's gotten promoted to the queen pin yet. I guess we'll see tomorrow. But either way, she is excited. And so, Tomas meets up with the PI. And the PI confirms that Lynette is gone. He can't find any tickets for planes, trains, automobile, nothing. She's just like dropped off the face of the earth, basically. And he says the only thing that he found was the application for the penthouse. And it didn't have anything like a birth certificate, ID, nothing. So Tomas was like, well, that's interesting. Like, how was she gonna pay for this penthouse? And the PI was like, well, I don't know, the realtor is Vanessa McBride, maybe you should ask her. And he was like, do you know her? And Tomas was like, yeah, I do, and for right now we're not gonna ask her anything, but if you find out anything else, tell me immediately. And I cannot wait for Tomas to go and tell Kat. He's not going to tell her, but she'll figure it out. I actually want to see them be sleuths together because I think that will be more entertaining than their love life and sex life. So that is what's going on with Tomas. He is hot on the trail of the Lynette situation as well. And yeah, I don't think she's dead. So I'm sure she'll pop back up at some point, right at the perfect moment, just to blow it all up. And I'm waiting and ready for that. So then I'm trying to see, did I miss anything? Oh, Naomi and Danny meet back up later at Nicole's house, and they're just talking about, I met up with Vanessa, and I met up with Joey, and this is how it went, blah, blah, blah. So then Danny reveals to Nicole, just through conversation, that Bill and Naomi are working together on this Madison case because, they feel so bad. Everyone in the family feels so bad for Madison. Like, she doesn't deserve this. Danny is, like, really upset for her future daughter-in-law. Like, she's like, Madison is too good at her job and she's too early in her career to have to deal with this. And this is so crazy. And, Naomi and Bill are working together. And here comes the call. Like, she's surprised they're working together because Naomi is such an upstanding, trustworthy attorney while Bill is the fixer. And Danny was like, don't do that. Bill and Naomi, this is something that they used to do when they were, when Naomi was younger and had aspirations to be like her father. And they would have mock debates and include Danny and Chelsea until they got bored and Danny and Chelsea went shopping. But, it's just, Danny is very happy to see Bill stepping up that way as a father and doing better in that regard. And even Nicole gives him a little bit of props because she's like, Ted had some missteps. He was prioritizing Eva over Kat for a while, etc. So she commends Bill for being a decent dad and doing better. And yeah, that was basically it for today. Another solid episode per usual. I really, really, really hope we are wrapping up Poison Gate very soon. Because I felt like if you wanted the man dead, Hayley, you succeeded that time when she upped the dose and he passed out. But she freaked out and wake up. So I was like, do you want him dead or do you not want him dead? Whatever. But Randy and Hayley are definitely going to get caught. I am just ready for it to happen. What do you think? Let me know down below and see you guys tomorrow. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next.